They say the Wild West was a time of freedom, adventure, and opportunity, when men were men and a person could make their own destiny out on the frontier. It's a land of myth and legend, of rugged cowboys and hard living, and we remember it through stories of gunslingers and outlaws like Butch Cassidy's gang, the Sundance Kid, Billy the Kid, or Jesse James. Jesse James, his name alone conjures up images of the Wild West, a man who lived by his own rules, a rebel who fought against the establishment, a folk hero to some, a ruthless killer to others. His life was a mixture of bravado and bloodshed, of daring robberies and cold-blooded murder. Today we look at the real Jesse James, the man behind the myth. James was born in 1847 in Kearney, Missouri. His father died before Jesse was 2, leaving his mother Zerelda to raise him and his 3 siblings alone. She was a strong-willed woman who had been an outspoken critic of slavery, and when the American Civil War broke out, she sent Jesse and his older brother Frank to live with relatives in Texas to keep them out of harm's way. But the boys did not stay in Texas. Instead, they joined Confederate guerrillas led by their uncle, the infamous bushwhacker, General Bill Quantrill. And it was here that they learned the ways of war, the art of survival, and most importantly, how to fight and kill. Quantrill's gang was known for its brutality, targeting anyone who opposed the Confederacy, including fellow Southerners, and by all accounts, Jesse and Frank were fully immersed in this world of violence. At the age of 16, Jesse was charged with the murder of an entire family, a crime so heinous that even Quantrill thought it went too far. After the war, the James brothers returned home to find Missouri a changed place. Their house had been burned down, and their mother and sister were dead. They had no choice but to embrace a life of crime. In 1866, they met up with another gang of outlaws, the younger brothers, and together they robbed 3 stagecoaches in the small town of Liberty, Missouri. This was just the beginning. Over the next 16 years, Jesse and his gang robbed banks, trains, and stagecoaches across the Midwest. They were wanted for over 50 train robberies alone. In all, they are believed to have stolen around $2 million in today's money. But for Jesse, it was not just about the money. He wanted revenge on those he believed had wronged him and his family during the war, and he saw the banks and trains as symbols of the establishment he despised. Along the way, he developed a reputation as a merciless killer, willing to shoot anyone who got in his way. There were Pinkerton agents, rival gangs, and even innocent bystanders caught in the crossfire. No one was safe from Jesse's bullets. As Jesse's legend grew, so did his paranoia. He feared that people only wanted to get close to him for his money or to take his head for the reward. And as the pressure mounted, he became more violent, more unpredictable. In 1882, his fears became a reality. Ford claimed the reward money, but his name has been cursed ever since. So was Jesse James a hero or a villain? The answer, as with so many things in life, probably lies somewhere in between. He was a complex character, a mixture of charm and charisma with ruthlessness and violence. He was a fighter, a survivor, a man who took on the establishment and gave it a bloody nose. But he was also a murderer, a cold-blooded killer who showed no mercy. He was a folk hero, but he was also a ruthless outlaw. The legend of Jesse James has captured the imagination of people for generations. He has been portrayed by some of the biggest stars in Hollywood, including Ty Hardin, Robert Wagner, and Brad Pitt. But the real Jesse James was far more complex than any Hollywood version. He was a product of his times, a man who lived in a world of violence and lawlessness, and who ultimately died by the bullet of a man he once considered a friend. He was a man who lived on the edge, a man who walked the bloody path of the Wild West, and left behind a legacy of death and betrayal. His story is a reminder that the line between legend and reality is often blurred, and that the heroes we celebrate today can be the villains of tomorrow. Thank you for watching.